Welcome to Coding Compliance Training. You may start or stop the video at any point to review. Hi, I'm Haley. Welcome to Bayview Branch Medical Clinic. The team will walk you through the clinic to show you how processes affect coding compliance. Coding compliance involves several processes that are performed by administrative and clinic areas as the patient receives services at a military treatment facility. The basic flow of the patient begins at the front desk, then to the clinic to see the provider, checkout, and finally processing of the billing for services. Each of these processes impact the timeliness and the accuracy of the billing collectively. If the front desk misses the step of changing an appointment status from pending to kept, timeliness of the encounter is affected. If the provider does not complete documentation and close the encounter with appropriate signatures, timeliness is affected. If the coder does not follow up to close queries quickly, timeliness is also affected. Improper code selection that is not corrected by the coder impacts accuracy. Understanding how each area can impact coding compliance will position the team to avoid problems. Upon completion of this course, the user will define coding compliance, identify processes and staff that contribute to coding compliance, recognize how an overseas location affects timeliness compliance, acknowledge DoD compliance requirements. Another email about coding compliance. What is coding compliance anyway? Coding compliance entails all activities to an encounter from patient check-in until the release of the encounter for payment. Let's check your knowledge. True or false? Coding compliance includes patient check-in. The answer is true. Coding compliance includes all activities from patient check-in at the clinic until payment is remitted. Dr. Jones wants to learn more about coding compliance. We'll follow his encounter through the clinic. Station 1, the patient checks in and a kept appointment is created. Outpatient encounters have 72 hours or 3 business days to flow from station to station. All activity, documentation, signing, and coding must be completed within 72 hours, not including weekends or holidays. Station 2, the provider sees the patient, documents the visit, and signs the record. The provider may be able to do all of these things at the end of the day, but they should remember it's difficult to recall everything that happened from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock or later in the evening. The next station is coding. The next business day, the compliance clock starts. For example, if the patient has a Friday appointment, the countdown starts on Monday, and all activities must be completed by Wednesday. Once the encounter is received by the coder for review, if no query is required for incomplete documentation, the encounter keeps moving through the system after 24 hours to the next station, the Coding Compliance Editor or CCE. Let's check your knowledge. When does the compliance clock start for an encounter? A, immediately after the encounter is closed. B, the next business day. Or C, 1 week later. The answer, the compliance clock starts the next business day after an encounter, not including weekends or holidays. Last stop, the coder makes one final check, then releases the encounter for payment. Dr. Jones wants to review a few takeaways. My encounter flows through coding, which requires at least 24 hours to code, assuming no query is initiated. A system, CCE, needs 24 hours to transmit the data, and finally the encounter is released. So that really narrows my time to hold the encounter. The good news is the compliance window is generous since it only counts business days. Now that I understand this process, I think I've got this. Dr. Jones has expressed his understanding of his role in the process. How about Kelly at the front desk and Joe in coding? Kelly must change the appointment status from pending to kept or no-show if the patient does not present. Failing to change the appointment status will cause the encounter to stagnate and appear as an incomplete encounter on a report. Joe must review the encounter for accuracy. A minimum standard of 97% for accuracy must be met. Joe also needs to query, if necessary, and release the encounter for payment within 24 hours. Here's a recap to summarize coding compliance. Coding compliance involves the combined workflows of a team. The DoD standards for coding compliance are timeliness and accuracy. 72 hours or 3 business days is the timeliness standard for the entire team's processes. The coding accuracy standard is 97%. Computer systems are part of the timeliness workflow. Overseas locations are unique due to 96 weekends. You have now completed this training. Take the assessment in the course for your certificate.